Hello, welcome back to Mr. Kendrick's online math class. This lesson is 3.1, Day 2, Simplifying Expressions with Distributing. You can go ahead and take out your math notebook, turn to a new page, and put this title at the top. Alright, first thing I would like to review from yesterday, how do we simplify an expression? Remember from our lesson from yesterday, the first thing we want to do when we're simplifying an expression is to separate all the terms. So in this expression we have 4 different terms, and after we get them separated, then we can go back and see if we have any like terms. And like terms, we have negative 3x, and we have plus 7x as like terms, and we also have plus 9 and minus 12. Okay, so now we have our like terms separated out in our expression. Now we can combine those like terms. So we can combine here. We have negative 3x plus 7x. Okay, negative 3x plus 7x will give us a positive 4x. Okay, remember we can, if you're starting at negative 3 and you're adding a positive 7, you're moving to the right on a number line, and you will end up at positive 4. And then we have 9 plus a negative 12. Okay, so we have different signs, so we're going to subtract. We're going to take the sign of the number with the larger absolute value, which is the negative 12. So our answer is going to be negative, and then we can do 12 minus 9, which will give us 3. And so our answer here would be negative 3. And now we have a simplified expression of 4x minus 3. Now there are 2 different things that we can do when we're simplifying expressions. The first one is to combine like terms and then simplify, which we have done here. The next thing that we can do is use the distributive property. So in your notes, make sure you write down this number or this information here. Simplifying expressions using distributive property. When we use the distributive property, we're going to distribute the number including the sign to the left of the number. And we're going to simplify the expression by combining like terms. And remember, an expression is in simplest form when there are no like terms to combine and no parentheses left in our expression. Go ahead and pause here. Make sure you get this information down in your notes. All right, let's look at an example of what it looks like when we use the distributive property. So in our expression, we have 3 times 4x minus 8. All right, and for a quick review of the distributive property tells us that if we multiply this 3 to the 4 and then the minus 8 would give us the same answer as if we did the operations inside the parentheses first and then multiplied by 3. Okay, so using the distributive property allows us to separate the 2 numbers inside the parentheses. Okay, so when we use the distributive property, the number that's outside the parentheses, we're going to distribute it to both numbers inside the parentheses. Okay, and remember when we're distributing to each number, it goes with this sign. Okay, so in this situation we would have 3 times 4x, and that would give us 12x. And then we have 3 times negative 8, and 3 times negative 8 would give us negative 24. Okay, so in this example, our expression is simplified because we have distributed this 3 to both the 4x and the negative 8, and now we have a new expression that says 12x minus 24, and there are no like terms and no parentheses left in our expression. So based on what I did here, I would like you to go ahead and try a couple examples here. Pause the video right now. Try these 2 examples and then come back and see how you did. Alright, for this first example, 2 times 4x plus 5, I'm going to use the distributive property to distribute the 2 to the 4 and then to the 5. Okay, so we'd have 2 times 4x, which would give us 8x, and 2 times a positive 5, which would give us plus 10. Okay, so now we don't have any more like terms and no more parentheses, so our answer, or our expression is now simplified there. And then in example B, we have negative 3 times negative 2y plus 4x plus 6. So we're going to distribute this 3 to all of these 3 terms. So we would have negative 3 times negative 2y, negative 3 times 4x, and negative 3 times a positive 6. Okay, so negative 3 times a negative 2y will give us a positive 6y. Negative 3 times a positive 4x would give us a negative 12x. And then negative 3 times a positive 6 would give us a negative 18. Now look for any more like terms that we can combine. We do not have any, so our simplified expression is 6y minus 12x minus 18. Alright, we got a couple more examples for you to try. Go ahead and pause here. Try these 2 examples out, and then come back and see how you did. Okay, so in example C, you'll see we have parentheses, and we have some other terms that are not in the parentheses. So when we use the distributive property, we're only distributing the number right outside the parentheses to the terms inside the parentheses. So it would be 4 times x and 4 times a positive 2. And then we'll just bring down these terms over here and see if we can simplify further. So we got 4 times x will give us 4x, and 4 times a positive 2 will give us positive 8. Okay, and then we'll bring down the 5x and plus 1. Alright, now like terms. We have 4x and plus 5x, and then we also have plus 8 and plus 1. Okay, so now we can combine those like terms. 4x plus 5x will give us 9x, and 8 plus 1 will give us 9. So now our new expression, simplified expression, is 9x plus 9. Alright, for D, D is a little bit tricky because we have these terms out in front of the parentheses. So again, we're going to just drop down these terms outside the parentheses. So we would have 5x minus 6x, and then we can distribute this negative. Remember, the negative goes with the number to the right of it, so it's going to be negative 4 times 6, and negative 4 times a negative 2x. So negative 4 times 6 would give us negative 24, and negative 4 times a negative 2x would give us a positive 8x. Okay, so now we can go back through, look for some like terms, and we got 5x, we have minus 6x, and we have plus 8x, and then there are no other constants, so that negative 24 will stay by itself. And now we can combine. So first I'm going to combine these positives. So 5x plus 8x would give us 13x. And then I'm going to drop down this minus 6x. So now we have 13x minus 6x, which would give us 7x. Okay, and then we can bring down this minus 24, so our simplified expression will be 7x minus 24. Alright, we got one more example. This one involves fractions, so a little bit different calculations that we need to do, but still the same process. Okay, so the first thing, we have some parentheses and multiplication, so I'm going to use the distributive property to distribute this 1/2 to the x and to the -8. Okay, so first thing, 1/2 times x would give us 1/2 x. Okay, now 1/2 of -8. Now it might look a little complicated, but really it's just saying what is half of -8. And so we can do the multiplication. 1/2 times -8 over 1, and we'll get -8 over 2, which will give us -4. Okay, so then we have -4, then we're just going to bring down the rest of these terms, plus 3/4 x minus 1/8 minus x to the 3rd power. Now we can go back through, look for some like terms, and we have this 1/2 x plus 3/4 x, and then we also have the like terms of -4 and minus 1/8, and then this minus x cubed, or x to the 3rd power, is does not have any like terms. Alright, let's combine these like terms. So we have -1/2 x plus 3/4 x. So 1/2, I'm going to get common denominators. 1/2 times 2, so then we'll get 2 over 4. So we have 2/4 x plus 3/4 x, and that will leave us with 5/4 x, or 1 1/4 x. Then we also have -4 and plus, or -4 minus 1/8, so -4 minus 1/8. So they're both negative, so we can just add them and keep the sign. So that would be -4 and 1/8. Okay, so now our simplified expression is 1 1/4 x minus 4 and 1/8 minus x to the 3rd